Hello, friends of softball. We're here to get our second installment of our countdown. We're going to look at teams number 69 to 60 in our lineup. But first, let's take a look back real quick at the teams we covered last week. Last week, we started with number 76, the Pit. And then we had number 75, Sons of Pitches out of Missoula, Montana. Number 74 was Crazy Hitters from Spokane. Number 73, Big Sky PR from Kalispell, Montana. Number 72, Team Daydrunk from Missoula. Number 71, Sweet Spot from Coeur d'Alene. And number 70, Down and Dirty. That's going to jump us right into starting out with number 69, Balls and Dolls out of Spokane, Washington. Dustin Collier's team. This was their third tournament appearance. They were freshly coming off a aluminum championship from the year before. This year, they were in Group M, where they went 0-3. They played the Corner Bar and lost 27-9. They played H3 Firearms and lost 15-12. And then they played Spades Construction and lost 17-10. So that took them back into another matchup in the aluminum division, where they were set to play. They played first round Team Daydrunk from Missoula, Montana, over at Plants Ferry 3, where they ended up winning 11-3, advancing to the next round. They stayed out at Plants Ferry, as a lot of the lower-seeded teams did, and played Pitch Slap from Coeur d'Alene, where in a very back-and-forth battle, they ended up coming up short 13-11 and came up a little short for defending their aluminum division crown. So number 69, Balls and Dolls from Spokane. Okay, next up we got number 68, also from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. We have the Coeur d'Alene Blue Sox. This team is originally put together. This is a team that I put together during league season, but I didn't run it during the tournament. Norman Ettinger and Sarah Scott shared duties in running the team. This is their second tournament appearance. The year before, they were ranked number 79. This year, they're ranked 68th. They were playing out of Group I with an 0-3 record. They played Showtime Northwest and lost 15-5 Friday night. Then they played the Leftovers and lost to them in a close one, 10-8. And then another close game, they lost to DWSW 7-6. That put them in the aluminum division, where they got their first ever Sunday victory. They beat the Pit in first round action over at Ramsey 5, 17-9. And then they played Sage Creek, the team that ends up winning the aluminum division. They played them very close, back and forth battle that saw that Sage Creek pulled it out 16-15 late. So number 68, the CDA Blue Sox. Okay, next on the list is number 67 out of Spokane, Washington. No Glove, No Love. Ryan Horner's team. This was their third tournament appearance in the Summer Classic. They were playing out of Group N, where they had a good group play. They went 2-1. They ended up losing Friday night to the Incrediballs 18-5. But then they came back with a couple of wins. Pitch Slap, they beat them pretty good, 21-13. And a close game with Sons of Pitches. Ryan and his squad won 15-11. So that put them in the aluminum division, where they got a first round bye. They were into the quarterfinals, where they played Spades Construction, and they ended up losing in a close one, 16-12. But still, one of the better years for Ryan Horner's team. Like I said, this is their third appearance. Last year, they were ranked number 82. This year, they came in ranked 65. So not a bad showing for No Glove, No Love. They are in this year's field currently, so we look forward to having them back. Number 67, No Glove, No Love, out of Spokane, Washington. Okay, number 66 is a team from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Pitch Slap. This is their 11th tournament appearance. We're grateful to have Bree Williams and her team in as many times as they have been. Very much a fixture in the Summer Classic. And this year they were playing out of Group N, where they went 1-2. They lost to the Incrediballs 13-1. But then they came back with a victory over No Glove, No Love, 21-13. And then they lost that game to No Glove, No Love, 21-13. But they beat Sons of Pitches 10-3 out of Missoula. So that put them in the aluminum division, where Bree and friends had actually a really good run, one of their better runs in the last several years. They played the Crazy Hitters at Plants Ferry 2, where they won 24-12 in the first round. That put them in the quarterfinals, where they played Balls and Dolls, the defending champion, and they beat them in a very close one, 13-11. And then they came up short, kind of ran out of gas against Sucker Punch in the semifinals, 18-3. Last year they were ranked 77. This year, 66. Pitch Slap, Coeur d'Alene. Okay, just like Pitch Slap before them, this is another team that have been in a lot of Coeur d'Alene tournaments. They've actually been in every one. Spades Construction from Sandpoint, Idaho, has been in all 12 tournaments that we've had. They are led by Rebecca Roberts. They were ranked 72nd last year. This year they ranked 65th. They played out of Group M, where they went 1-2. They lost to H3 Firearms 16-4. They had a tough time against Corner Bar 20-1. They lost, and then Balls and Dolls, they beat them 17-10 to get kind of a little momentum for the bracket play. They were in the aluminum division where they made a little run. They played at Plants Ferry 4 where they beat Sweet Spot in a crazy game, 22-21 to outlast them. Then they beat No Glove, No Love in the quarterfinals, 16-12, until finally in the semifinals, one game away from the championship, they fell to Sage Creek 20-11, maybe just running out of gas as well. So a great one for Spades Construction, a team that has been in the tournament 12 years, and they've played in almost every division that we've ever had. So always enjoy having Rebecca and her team from Sandpoint, Idaho out to the tournament. All right, now we need to talk about team number 64, Sucker Punch from Missoula, Montana. Kira Ackley, Fred, and their squad coming in for their fifth tournament appearance, fifth in a row. In 2021, they were ranked 81st. This year, they came in ranking 64th, so quite an improvement. They were in Group E, where they went 1-2. They lost to Sage Creek in their first game, 16-1. Lost to a really good Shenanigans team, 15-9, and then Sit on My Bases from Spokane. They lost to them 15-1. This put the Sucker Punch squad in the aluminum division, and they made a little run as well. They in the first round they beat Down and Dirty from Spokane 15-5 in the quarterfinals. They did get a first round bye, and Pitch Slap, they played them in the semifinals 18-3. That put them in the championship game where they squared off against Sage Creek, and this was a great game, 16-12. It really was closer even than that score, only 4 runs though, just a little bit coming up short, but a great run for Sucker Punch. They are in this year's tournament currently, and we look forward to having them back. Number 64, Sucker Punch. Okay, number 63 comes in, Sage Creek Products from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. This is their 6th tournament appearance. They're run by Melissa Brandon. Last year they were ranked 70th. This year they move up to ranked 63rd. Group play was a little rough for them. They were in Group E. They ended up playing some tough competition. They played Shenanigans, where they lost 17-5. Sit on My Bases from Spokane, 21-6 they lost that one. And then they got beat up by Sucker Punch. Remember this score, 16-1, because it's going to come and play here in just a second. They were placed in the aluminum division where they made themselves a run. They were in the first round. They beat Big Sky PR 11-9 in a close one. Then another close game against the CDA Blue Sox. They rallied to win 16-5, and then took out Spades Construction in the semifinals 20-10 to make the championship for the second straight year in aluminum. Last year they lost to Balls and Dolls in the championship. This year they finished off the deal. They beat Sucker Punch 16-12 to become the aluminum division champions. So congratulations to Sage Creek's aluminum division champs. They are in this year's tournament currently, and they were ranked 63 in last year's bracket. Okay, number 62 is a team we're also very familiar with. The team name is Those Guys. They've gone by some other team names in the past, Pots and Pans, Childish Pitches, out of Missoula, Montana. This is Jess Winter's team. This is their 11th tournament appearance. They were the first team ever from Missoula to come over to our tournament, so we appreciate that, and they brought a lot of people with them. They were not in the tournament last year, so no ranking there. They were playing out of Group Q, where they went 2-1. They had a good round robin play. They beat Crazy Hitters 14-9. They beat Sweet Spot 20-8, and then they beat Down and Dirty from Coeur d'Alene 18-16. That put them in the nickel division where they played Hit Talkers, and Hit Talkers came to play that game. They beat them 19-5 to knock Jess and her squad out in the first round. But like I said, this is the first Missoula team ever to come over to our tournament, and we were really grateful. They, I think, got the news out to Missoula that this tournament was over here, and now we have a ton of Missoula teams. So thank you, Jess Winters. Their team is currently in the field this year. This year ranked 62nd in the stand. Okay, anybody who's ever played Coeur d'Alene ball knows this next team, Wasted Potential, and their captain, Carl Hoskins, who's been around playing softball for a very long time. This is his 5th tournament appearance with the Wasted Potential team, but Carl's been in every tournament every year, and he's probably put in more teams than just 5. I think he's put in about 10 or 11. So they, in 2021, were ranked 38th. They fell off a little bit, ranking 61st this year. They played out of Group F, where they went 1-2. They played the Savage Patch Kids, who ended up being a really good team. They lost 27-9. They did come back to exact some revenge, beating Down and Dirty from Spokane 28-1, and then they lost to a very improved box office hitters team 14-7. So this landed Carl and friends in the nickel division, where they played out at Memorial Sunday morning against H3 Firearms in a defensive struggle. H3 Firearms ended up winning this game 8-6 in the first round, but still a pretty good showing for Carl and his squad. Just coming up a little bit short, number 61. They are in the tournament again this year, 61, wasted potential. And we jump right into the last team that we're going to look at this week. This is number 60. This is Pitch Please from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. This is another team that has been in our tournament many, many years. Their 9th tournament appearance, Kim Nelson's team. Last year they were ranked 61st, or the 2021 they were ranked 61st. This year 60th. They played out a Group I where they went 1-2. They had a great game against DDHB, an 11-10 win, then a couple really close ones. 406 Warriors, they lost 17-15, and then another battle with the Pandemics as well, where they just came up short 12-11. So some really good round-robin play for Kim and her crew. They were put in the nickel division, where they played out of Plants Ferry 3 and ran into a red-hot DWSW team that came out firing Sunday morning. They beat Pitch Please 24-4 to knock them out in the first round. But Kim's team is back in the tournament this year, and they are ranked 60th. Next week, we will go over teams 59 through 50. We look forward to having you all back for another detailed breakdown of the Summer Classic 2022.